Gave you a demotion. Mr Speaker, I want to talk tonight about credit card gambling. I started the day talking about this and I want to end the day talking about this. Australians spend $25 billion a year on gambling. We are, per capita, the worst gamblers in the world, the worst in the amount of money that we spend. Now, Mr Deputy Speaker, I don't mind so much if someone wants to gamble their own money away, provided they can feed their kids, provided they can put shoes on their feet, send them to school, pay their bills. The states and territories have all banned the use of credit cards from places like TABs, from poker machines, from casinos and RSLs, etc. But there's one place you can still use your credit card to gamble, and that's on the internet. We, as a Commonwealth government, control that space. And we need to do better than what we are doing right now. $25 billion a year is spent on gambling. You have a think about that. That's about 6 Sunshine Coast University hospitals that could be built each and every year. I've had lengthy discussions with the banks over this in the last couple of weeks. Banks like Citibank, Suncorp, the smaller banks, Macquarie. These are banks that have made a conscious decision to ban the use of credit cards for gambling. But the big 4 banks haven't: Westpac, ANZ, Commonwealth and the National. So I've went and seen each of them, senior executives. And you know what, Mr Speaker? They agree with me. They are in furious agreement with me that the use of credit cards for online gaming, online gambling should be banned, just as it is banned in the real world. We often talk about this issue. We often say that what is legal in the real world should be legal online, and what is illegal in the real world should be illegal online. Well, if you can't use your credit card at the track, you can't use your credit card at the pokies, you can't use your credit card at the TAB, why should you be able to use your credit card gambling at home on the internet? It's a very, very simple question. Not only are people losing tens of thousands of dollars, or in this case up to $25 billion a year in gambling, but when you use your credit card to gamble, you are paying 22% interest on that debt, on that loss that you will inevitably incur when you gamble, because the house always wins. Ultimately, the house always wins. And we are seeing people racking up debts of tens of thousands of dollars and paying 22% interest as a result. So I went to the banks and I said, this has got to change. And you should be out the front making those changes. It is your obligation to your customers. There is a moral imperative here that you make these changes. And they've said it's too hard. What we want you to do, Andrew, is press your colleagues in Parliament to make us make those changes. If the banks won't enter into a voluntary code of conduct amongst themselves, then we can make simple changes to the Interactive Gambling Act to prohibit companies, gambling companies that operate online, to prohibit the use of credit cards and the likes of PayPal for gambling online. It is very simple. This will save people's lives. We know that gambling is a root cause of things like domestic violence. This is an opportunity for us here in this place to do the right thing, and it is always the right time to do the right thing.